fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Deku. He has just met Miruko's parents and her younger brother. Now, this was very surprising to Deku. They basically walked into the apartment unannounced, and they were annoyed to find Deku in the kitchen. Yeah. After putting on some clothes, and Miruko, she at least did come out to understand the situation, her parents, they seemed very angry. And there was even her father. The man, after Deku did at least introduce himself, he didn't really seem impressed by him. The man seemed more angry and annoyed that Deku was even here. Now, after Deku did go to bed and then wake up later, him and Miruko did talk. As they were trying to find out exactly what to do, and it was decided that she's going to go shopping with her mom tomorrow, along with even Deku's mother. Meanwhile, Deku, he's going to go to lunch with her father and her younger brother. And Deku, he's going to try and see if he can get Masuro free. Or if he can't, he'll try to get Bakugo. One thing is for sure, he really does not want to get Hasashi. Now, with that being said, Deku, he did also receive some messages on his phone talking about some stranger. The stranger, they never knew their father. And from what they understand, Deku's contacting about a paternity test. And it's very strange. Deku is trying to think about that, as we actually have the next day, where Deku, he actually did stop at UA. Masuro, from what he did actually get from Mitsuki, he's stuck at work. So Deku, he's going to try and get Bakugo out of UA for a minute, and at least take him with him. Now, Deku, he does actually go to walk through the halls, as he does try to reminisce about this place. It feels weird. That one place gave him access to their tech lab, and he didn't even really go there. Sure, he took classes at that place, but still. It just seems so weird. They didn't really have him enrolled as an official student. However, the fact was he could use the tech lab, and at the time he was there, he technically did learn some classes from other people. It's just kind of funny. Deku's qualified in multiple fields of study, including science, medical, and engineering. And even then, in the amount of time it would have taken him to do all that type of stuff, he would still be in school. Now, you do actually have where Deku does actually walk up to the class 1A door. And he actually just think, okay, from what he does understand, this room isn't any different. Deku actually reaching out and pulling open the door. As, whenever he does pull it open, he does actually look inside. As everybody do stop doing their work and go to look up. As you actually where Mr. Aizawa, he does go to turn his head and actually go to sit up from his sleeping bag. Now, sit up from his sleeping bag. Now, Deku, he actually does look at Mr. Aizawa. So that hasn't changed. For he actually does look across the room. His eyes actually seeing somebody before actually stopping on Bakugo. As you do actually have Missy Yorozu. Now, Deku was kind of intrigued, but at the same time he didn't really care, if that does make sense. He knew she can get into class 1A. However, now he has confirmed it. Miss Yorozu, she does immediately go to jump up. And she does at least go to open her mouth. Before Bakugo, he does at least open it first. Izuku? I really turned to look at him. As Mr. Aizawa, he actually is going to look directly at Katsuki. Alright, last names. Whatever. Mr. Aizawa, what? When I would take Baku out of class, I understand that this is a important course, so I'd like to ask you personally. Hmm? He loses whatever. It can affect his attendance, but at the same time, we're not really doing too much. It's just schoolwork. Hmm. All right. Now, Bakugo, he does hear that, as he does ask Deku exactly where are they going to be going and why is he taking out of class? We're going to go get lunch. Really? That's it? You couldn't have thought of any better reason. Now, people are mumbling to each other. Bakugo knows that guy? Wait, that's the famous inventor. Wait, so they are related? They knew his last name was similar, but they thought maybe it was just spelled differently. Now, Bakugo, he does at least go to look around towards everybody, as Deku does introduce himself and talk about how he's Bakugo's older brother. Now, everybody there are quite shocked, and they actually do go looking back towards Momo. Why did she stand up? Now, Deku, as he does leave, he does tell Mr. Aizawa that he'll at least return him later, as Aizawa does go back to laying back down. Now, as Deku he is walking through the area, you do actually have where somebody from the support course classroom, they blow something up. And as Deku was walking by, he did at least go to think. At least that wasn't him. Now, the person they actually do go to get up off the ground. And Deku does look right at this person. As it's a fairly young looking girl with pink hair and a pair of, those goggles on her head. Now, Deku, he does just think, oh wow, interesting. Now, the person here at least go to pat himself down and then go to look down at the door. Okay, I didn't land on somebody this time. Looking to their left, looking to their right, and oh my god. Now, Deku, his mind immediately does know what's going on, as he does go to bring up his hands, as Mei Hatsume does rush forwards and try to ask Deku a bunch of questions. Now, I believe if I'm correct, Power Loader would come walking out. And there actually is whenever he does try to at least inform Mei Hatsume that that's the fourth time this week that... What the fuck? Hey, Power Loader. Hi. I'm going to actually bring up his hand. I thought you graduated. I did. You're Mr. Baku, aren't you? I have tons of questions. Your inventions, how do they work? Everything you do. Come on. I want to know. Please. As interesting as that would be, I'm very busy right now. Then why are you at UA? Clearly you have something to do with him, right? Do you need support tech? Do you need consultation? Do you need classes? Do you need a teacher? Are you going to teach her? Please tell me you are. Now, Deku can tell. She's drank 2 pots of coffee with, probably at least, 2 cups of sugar. Christ. He remembers when he was just like her. Okay, Deku actually going to bring up his hand, informing her that she does need to calm down, and that the coffee isn't going to help. How do you know? I'm just that smart. Anyways, take your time, don't fuck up, triple check blueprints, triple check your inventions, and if you do need to, make sure you test them outside. Or if you're not too sure about it, don't test them at all. Now, Deku does walk right past Mei Hatsume, as she actually is still staring directly at Deku. Now, the two they do leave UA, and Deku he does try to explain to Baku on the way there exactly what's going on. Huh? So, wait, hang on. Hang on. Let me get this straight. Sorry. You got caught in the kitchen. Yep. With or without. Okay. Sorry. I'm just Marco, it's really not funny. Okay, I get it. Sorry. But kind of is. Yeah. Deku is going to at least bring up his finger, pressing on the autopilot, or at least for the self-driving mode, turning right to Bakugo and trying to explain it to him. the man, he knows exactly who he is. He's not impressed with him. He doesn't care. And it doesn't seem like he does even really care about his daughter. Hmm? What are you talking about? Bakugo, the man was supposed to come in 2 weeks. She expected him to come on Christmas. So what does that tell you? Even Christmas Eve. Oh, I don't know. Okay, let me put it into perspective for you. He arrived 2 weeks early. He basically didn't even announce his presence in our apartment by knocking on the door. And the moment he saw his daughter, he completely undermined her in her own home. And even then, her mother didn't really seem to be all that different either. She seemed more concerned with the fact that her daughter was acting more girly, that she actually wore a dress and... Wait, she wore a dress? Not the point. Sorry, but that's new, right? It is. Anyways, I'm just freaking out, alright? I'm just gonna put it simply like that. This guy, me and him don't really have too much of a good relationship already. So, Rumi, she's hoping that this actually will at least shed some more light on it. And she's hoping that her dad might actually like me. Alright, so I'm just kind of confused though. Okay, confused about what? Haven't you met your dad? I have, and I've also met my little sister. Wait, what? Yeah, Bakugo, it's kind of a lot. You since when? Did you? Okay, she's German and she's Japanese. And I just met her recently. I've been trying to find a way to get it in simple terms sorted and explain it to you guys. Okay? I know, but still, you're. Yeah, I know. Not even that. I might have a little sibling or another sibling too. What? Yeah, it's crazy. Anyways, listen. We're going to need to, at the very least, talk to this guy. Any ideas for what we should do? You're the super genius. I know, but I'm not a people person. That's fair. Now, Deku, he's just trying to think. As the two they do pull up to the area, and Deku is going to get out of the car. Or get out of the seat. Now, Deku, as he actually is walking to the restaurant, you do actually have where Mr. or Mirko's father, I don't really know how to pronounce the last name very well. I think I butcher it. Anyways, Mirko's father and brother are both sitting there. And Deku, whenever he does actually arrive, he does somewhat apologize for being a little late. Even though they were supposed to get here in about 5 minutes. Now, the man, he already does make an impression on Bakugo, as he basically does tell Deku that if he's not here within 30 minutes early of an appointment, or even of a lunch scheduled meeting, then he really is late already. In fact, he's basically 27 minutes late. I understand that, sir. Okay, this guy's already an asshole. That's what that being what Bakugo does think. Now, we do switch over to Deku, who he does just wonder. The person coming over to take their orders. As Deku, he basically does at least turn to this person and inform that he'll currently have this, and then he'll actually have this to drink. Now, the person they actually stare at Deku, as the man he does ask for black coffee with no sugar. And Deku does turn to look at that guy. So that's where Mirko gets it from. Now, Deku, he does know that Mirko, she does at least like some creamer in her coffee. That or even some milk. Almond milk to be specific. And Deku, he finds it to be quite interesting. Him and her, they're complete opposites. Where Mirko, she does have an intense personality. This guy, he has an intense exterior. And already you can tell that this guy tries to be very professional, where Mirko, she does fly off the reels and sometimes act goofy. or even loony kinda. Now, with that, Deku, he does at least start to talk to this man. And already enough, it does start to go bad. The guy seems to have a very rough exterior when it comes to at least the patience he has for Deku. And Deku actually has at least noticed that Miruko's little brother, whenever the guy he actually is somewhat talking, he does barely even really join in. And Deku does actually turn to ask the guy about that, as it's very strange. Now, the man does go to open his mouth. As he does start talking, you do actually have where his father is starting to look at him. And he actually has at least have his eyes jolt back to his dad. And Deku, he did notice that. Okay. Let's see. This guy. He looks huge. He's not a pro if I do have it correct. Maybe... Not even then. That reaction with the eyes. The subtle flinch. Was this man abusive when these two were kids? Now, Deku, he does get a little bit angry. He thinks that that might be the case. This guy isn't very talkative, and he only ever really does talk whenever someone talks to him. Now, you do actually have where the lunch meeting is somewhat cut short, since, well, Miruko's dad, he doesn't really like to speak to Deku, especially since he's got a whole lot more work left to do. Now, the man he does leave after sitting down some cash, informing Deku that he also does at least have a card here. Him pulling it out and handing over to Deku, informing him that if he does ever want to make some real money, then he needs to at least give him a phone call, and he can get him a job here. Now, Deku does look down. Him taking the card, informing the man that he does currently make at least 20 grand every 2 seconds. And the man, he doesn't really even look back at Deku. He does just stare at him. And Deku does just stare this man directly dead in the eye. The two, if you do want to put it that way, if you could see it, there were sparks flying between their stare. If you were to walk in between their eyesight, you'd probably be electrocuted. And Bakugo, he did notice that immediately. Christ, how horrifying. Now, as that actually was happening, we actually will cut over to Miruko, her mother, and Inko. Who, all of them, yeah, they went out shopping. And it was actually very curious. Inko, she was very surprised. Miruko, or Rumi's mother, she's in town. This is kind of huge. She's meeting her potential, family. And it's very interesting to her. Deku, he never gave her a heads up on this. And from speaking with the woman, apparently they just arrived yesterday. And it's just, well, alarming. It's very weird. The woman, she does actually look a lot like Miruko. Rabbit-like ears, the tail, and there's even the fact that she doesn't have that athletic build. She's just a little bit shorter than Miruko, but at the same time she also does look a little bit more filled out, if you do know exactly what I'm saying. Now, it's very strange. This woman in Miruko, if you didn't really were close enough, you could probably mistake them for sisters. And it's very intriguing to Inko. Now, she does actually notice exactly how this woman does act throughout the entire day. She basically is dragged around to shops with Miruko. And the two, they can hardly keep up with her. She's running through different outfits that are dark and try on, especially talking about how she's trying to look so nice for that young man. Now, it's very embarrassing for Miruko, since her mother, she basically does at least drag her around and try to dress her up like a doll, basically. Now, Inko, she does actually keep an eye on this, and it's very weird. Miruko, she tried to refuse several outfits. However, she basically got stuck with some of them. And there actually was whenever Inko, she gave a recommendation to Miruko. The Miruko, she actually did enjoy. It was something simple. Thank you. Now, Mirko, she was quite happy. Sure, it seemed to be a bit more her old style, but it was somewhat just of a longer skirt, and it did even have a regular shirt, and even there was a stylish jacket that had come along with it. Now, there actually was whenever Inko she had to pick out a set of boots, finding some that would match Mirko with the outfit. And Mirko she actually liked these boots a lot more than the outfit itself. Sure, the skirt she'd replace, but even then, it all does somewhat kind of come together. Now, Mirko's mom, she was very surprised. She took the other person's recommendation. She still looks more boyish, though. Mm, it's kind of annoying, though. She never wanted to do this when she was so much younger. I couldn't even do this whenever she was a baby. She always seemed to fight me on everything. Now, it was just sort of, yeah, no. From what Inko can understand from hearing this lady talk, and even really talk about the past, it doesn't really seem like they've gotten along very well. Sure, Mirko, she did what she could up until a certain age. And then her mother got mad whenever she came home not wearing girly clothes or an outfit like that. However, Inko, she felt so, but Mirko, she felt so much better. She actually enjoyed what she was wearing. People, they weren't pointing her out, they weren't laughing at her, they weren't trying to make fun of her. And there actually was whenever she'd actually toss out a lot of those old clothes and save up the allowance money her parents did give her, almost buying an entirely new wardrobe before some of it was thrown out. Now, Mirko's mom did try to tell a story. However, Inko, she was actually kind of, why? Why would you do that? Now, Inko did try to stick up for Mirko, explaining that that's just Mirko's sense of fashion. Huh? What are you talking about? That's how she chose to dress, isn't it? Clothing's a form of expressing yourself as well. From what I understand, my son, he has a half sister. She's an artist. Think of it like that. Huh? Wait, hang on. Somebody else should be with us right now? Wait, I never said that. Are you kidding me? That's what you basically said. We could be spending the day having a nice girls' day with just more than the three of us. Now, this lady does not listen. And eventually the day is done and the three do return back to Mirko's apartment. Where, upon doing so, you do actually have Deku, he's already there. And him and Balko are both sitting down, and at least somewhat talking. Now, Mirko, she was very surprised. Deku's home early. Izu, what happened? Now, Deku is going to sit down on the phone. Yeah, everything's done? Perfect, thank you. Thank you, sir. We hope that we'll be able to provide as much needed assistance to your company as possible. Now, Deku does sit down on the phone, turning to Mirko and telling her that her dad kind of just left. What? Balko confirming. Yep, your dad kind of walked out in the middle of lunch. He didn't even finish the food. Why did he do that? Sorry, Izuku. It's just he's something, alright. I didn't even say anything yet. Mirko, you don't really need to say anything. Besides, I've already started taking care of it. Now, with that being said, Inko, she's very confused. As you do actually have, let's just say, the next day. Now, the man, he is at least talking with a few people on the phone. As some of them, they're talking about how currently the branch, it was bought. And right now, some people are being transferred to different locations. And there's actually Mirko's dad. He does actually hear that he's being transferred to the location inside their city. And he's quite happy about that. He's been trying to land a job here for years ever since he found his daughter came here. And right now, this is perfect. Now, he does get a report in, as whenever he does walk into the office and at least start to talk to different people, he does sit down and try to get to work at a new desk that was set up for him. As whenever he actually has to open the internet access, he does actually open something. As he does find that there is actually a note left there that does ask him to please report to the executive office or the director's office. Now, the man he does go to leave, as he does knock on the door and walk in. As clearly the man in the chair, he's very busy. And it does seem like he's doing something on the phone. Now, he actually does try to talk to the man. Excuse me, sir. Now, the man he actually is going to bring out his hand and go to set down the phone. As Mr. or Mirka's father, he's very alarmed whenever the chair does spin back around and there actually is Deku. Him actually with his hands up and his fingers folded over each other, as one of his legs are folded over the other one. What are you doing here? You shouldn't be in that chair. That's for my boss. Oh, actually, I believe I should be here. What? Oh, you said I should get a job here. So, I bought your company. Wait, you can't be serious. Yes, actually, I am. I have enough experience with what you do. I actually also specifically requested that if I were to buy this building in particular, I could take over. In fact, your company is actually very small. In fact, actually, compared to many other conglomerates, you guys are actually tiny. Okay, that doesn't explain anything. How did you even afford this? I told you, because of my work. Now, as for what you're going to be doing, you're a notary, correct? Or are you in the lawyer's department? We handle paperwork for anyone who does buy us. Perfect. I've already bought you for the Yaoyorozu company. All of your guys' assets have already been absorbed. And right now, with the fact that I do own this company that's been absorbed into the Yaoyorozu Corporation, I now own more shares of them. Now, thanks to that, I actually do have a spot on the board of directors. So, I actually do believe I should thank you. Along with actually helping to increase the workflow and actual stress caused by certain people in the department for the Yaoyorozu company, you guys will actually be very useful. You really... Why did you do this? It's quite simple. I'm proving a point to you. Why are you... How does this prove a point to me, young man? You're nothing more than my daughter's... Don't finish that sentence. Why not? Because I am your boss. That would be considered insubordination. And I would actually be on the grounds to fire you. Now, the man who does freeze, he's been with this company for over 15 years. And this boy, he thinks he can just fire him like that? You're going to regret this. Actually, I don't think I will. Me and your daughter are in a very lovely relationship. Now, the man he does actually go to spin around, Deku informing him to sit down. Now, the man he does go to freeze. It's that instinct from working here for so long. He can't defy a boss. He can't defy the guys he's worked for so long. Now, he actually has to just turn back around and go to sit down in the chair. Deku informing him that they're going to have a very lovely conversation. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.